I think we shall. Hello and welcome to another Warcraft the audio commentary. Today, you guys, we're watching game number 3 from this best of 3 series from the HFAS Cup, the HFAS, also the HF All-Stars Cup, whatever it is. I don't know. I generally don't know enough about these Chinese tournaments. I'm assuming it's Chinese. It may not. It might be Russian. I don't actually have any clue about it. But I'm excited that we are watching games from it. I can tell you that much right now. I would love to be more informed on these things, but the problem is all the information seems to be in like a language that I can't quite read. So, I try to Google Translate it, and it just doesn't. It does not work out too well. So that's okay. Let's introduce our players for game number 3, the final game in the series. Let us introduce the light blue undead. His name is Shun, I think. And he is going, this time, solidly going for a gold build. This is a gold rush. This I can definitely identify. We have the crypt up, 2 ziggurats down. This is very late altar. And we're even going to see the shop, which is going to go up right about now. But what's going to happen is the Death Knight's going to come out just before the shop finishes, and we'll have to wait a couple seconds to buy his relic, his not his relic, well, his relics, his skeleton rod, as well as a dust, and he'll probably sell the TP. Down in the lower left corner, we have Xixi, spawning in as the red Night Elf. He's going for the Demon Hunter build. Always strong. And he's going to go for the Ancient War creep on the Goblin Laboratory, which is always good to do. And this is a really fantastic place to do an Ancient of War creep, because not only do you get to creep the lab with the Ancient of War, if you want to, you can creep this as well. You have the option. You can just pull those units on into the Ancient of War. It's really easy to do, and it's a lot of XP. It's guaranteed level 2 right off the bat. Gonna go ahead and use this Wisp right here, because you can get Lightning Shield, and it's really easy. What you have to do is you have to line up 3 of your units, and an Ancient of War counts as a unit. So if you, and then the middle unit gets the cast of Lightning Shield. Well, unless you put like a Wisp on either side of an Ancient Ward, they won't cast Lightning Shield on that, because it's actually immune. It doesn't work. But that's the only reason. And we're gonna see the archer go over here. It looks like he's gonna go for the pool. No, what is he? Oh, never mind. I have no idea what he's doing. You used to see people pull the second creep into that. He has apparently, you know, evolved from that strategy. He's not doing it. Down here, we're gonna see that there's the cell on the TP. There's the dust and the rod of necromancy, and all sorts of ghouls gonna be coming out. Is he gonna go for a creep? He's going for a creep. I don't know what he's doing. He's actually creeping instead of going for the push. Well, this is a classic rush build. I've never, ever in my entire life seen somebody go for this build and then not go for the rush. Maybe he wants level 2. It's a really easy level 2. It's a really fast level 2, and it would actually probably increase the strength of this push by quite a bit. Because the thing about this push, your only danger when you play like this is the elf getting a really quick level 2 or tier 2 and picking up the panda or a naga. Usually it's the panda, and just shutting the push down. Because if you aren't kind of at an equal tech, and you won't be because you're going to be behind, then you're kind of in a bit of an issue. This Demon Hunter just about getting surrounded, actually really lucky for him not to get surrounded, because he would have been forced to TP, and then that would have been a level 2. Well, actually it is level 2 already. Demon Hunter, or rather a Death Knight, that would have been straight on his way most likely to the elf base, and the elf wouldn't have had the TP that he needs. And this is, again, because the elf wants tier 2, he wants to have that panda come out, because the panda really shuts this push down. He would have not been able to slow it down anymore whatsoever. But again, I don't even know if Shun's going for the push at this point, because he's playing totally crazy. He is going for the tech. He's actually going for a pretty quick tech here. He's only barely behind the elf. In fact, I don't think he's going for a push at all. We probably will be seeing Ghoul Gargs though. There's there's absolutely no way he's not doing Ghoul Gargs. We should definitely be seeing a second crypt go down any second. Well, not any second, because he does need to get the good old ziggurat up. But yeah, now, I mean, the elf really doesn't, he can't really, I mean, I don't even know what's going on. This is just all just guessing here at this point, because this is a completely very innovative way to play this strategy that Shun's doing, but it could totally work. It could definitely lead into a really strong tier 2. He might not even be, it looks like he's not even gonna go. He's not even going to go for Gargs or anything. He might go for maybe a Naga push. I'm not sure why at this point. I still think he's going for a push, but he could go for the push. And if he picked up the Naga second, this would be a pretty strong push. Mainly because mainly because it would be hitting at a time right where the elf doesn't have really any units. They just have their 2 heroes, and then they're putting up production. They're putting up 2 Ancient of Lores, and that's really all that the elf's going to have. But on this map, he does have 3 archers. Again, that's actually quite a bit of archers, and normally 3 archers can hold any push that the ghouls do early on. This is the one exception. It kind of can maybe not hold it, but pretty much any normal push or any normal early aggression. The panda's out. Are we going to see a Naga? It looks like we're seeing a Naga. I had to check just to make sure we're going to see a Lich, but yeah, it's a Naga. So is he going to go for a push? I don't think so. He could also be doing something where he's trying to do map control, where he prevents the panda from getting high level, and then kind of like what I was talking about last game, where you see the non-stop fighting style. We could be seeing that, which would have been a great idea to pick up the fast level 2. And with the fast level 2, you can do the non-stop fighting style really well. But just by being right here in the middle of the map, he's actually shutting down this elf from creeping. And also, he's going to go for the counter creep, which is pretty cool. And with this Naga, he can kind of keep that Demon Hunter at bay, even though it's got Boots of Speed. It still has to be really careful with the slow. The elf going to try to come in here and prevent the undead from creeping this. He doesn't want that, because if the undead gets a massive level advantage, as we've seen before in this matchup, it just shuts down the elf player. They'll just get nuked to death, and there's not really much they can do after that. So he's gonna have to be really careful. But again, the undead just being hyper aggressive with this creep. But now this creep's anybody's game. Who's gonna get it? It looks like the elf player will, and he's also gonna pick up the replenishment potion that dropped. So that's a good half and half. Kind of half the XP went to the elf and half the XP went to the undead for that creep. I think the undead may be kind of overextended there, because he took a lot of damage from the panda's brewmasters. Again, though, you know, he's got plenty of mana at this point still. You know, I say plenty. He's used a bunch, but he has enough for 1 more Breath of Fire, which is probably fine. I don't know. He probably won't be using that anytime soon, so it'll probably heal up. But yeah, we're actually going to see him go into Crypt Fiend, so he's going for that push again. Okay, fair enough. He's going for the big push. And I don't know. I guess he's going for the just creep style. Creep. And, you know, the way he's open to this game, it's kind of made it so that I would... It delayed the crap out of this elf. Look at this. It's still level 1 panda at 7:20 minutes in the game, and level 2 demon hunter. That is a huge delay. It really is. Now the thing is it's only affecting opportunity costs, because these creeps aren't dying. You know, we kind of saw the elf or the undead steal a bit of XP from the elf right there. Also, my flash just crashed. I hope that didn't bother the stream any. I have no idea. We'll kind of stutter the game for a second just to go ahead and get the chat back up, maybe just to see if anyone if we're still streaming. But hopefully we are, and if not, well, then we'll have to redo this, but that's fine. So yeah, the elf player, or rather the undead, now he's picking up Sentry Wars, always a good item. We know exactly how good they are, really good. And over here, we're gonna see Demon Hunter just kind of looking around for this position. He's gotta be careful, because he's being really aggressive. Once again, he does have boots this time, and there's actually not a lot of mana on that Naga Sea, which means he probably won't get surrounded, but he has to make sure, absolutely make sure, that he does not lose that Demon Hunter again, because once again, we're sort of near a critical point in the game for the elf player. He is tier 3 now. He's getting the upgrade for the bears, the final upgrade, the master upgrade, which means he's gonna have an army that he can fight with, but he needs to make sure that he doesn't lose anything, because if he ends up getting completely screwed over, I don't even know what to tell you. He can't afford to lose his Demon Hunter again. He just can't, absolutely cannot. And he's gonna want to put down a demon, a Tree of Life here pretty soon, but he doesn't have the wood for it. As you can see, he's really investing everything right now in his army. So that's kind of interesting. It is kind of interesting. Building some extra wisps just because he needs the wood. I mean, look, he's at 55 wood. That's really low on wood. And the undead player is actually just doing a lot of creeping. He's just gearing up for some kind of crazy push. And the Lich is coming out. He wants to get level 3 on that Naga Sea Witch. He doesn't need any more XP on the Death Knight, so the Death Knight's kind of backed off. Said, here you go, take all the XP you want. That could be a potential issue because the Demon Hunter is running in, but he can just kind of fight it. He can just push it back. Lich is also going to come down here for some additional XP himself. Maybe not the best idea. I don't know. It's a questionable idea at this point. It's going to definitely make repelling the Demon Hunter really easy, but if it wasn't here, then the Naga would be a lot closer to level 3 at the end of this creep. But, you know, whatever. I mean, because he only split 94 XP, so that might have been a mistake. I don't know. It wouldn't really matter because this fight here coming up would not. He still wouldn't be level 3 for it unless the elf backs off, what you might do. I don't know. Level 3 is now on the Panda. Level 2 on the Demon Hunter. Obviously, it's more important to have the XP on the Panda than it is on the Demon Hunter, but the Panda is way too bad by himself, so you got to have him as a second hero. Because you really can't get the Panda first. You'll just kind of get overrun by ghouls and stuff. So that's why you have to open Demon Hunter. You could open Warden as well. Warden also does pretty good against all the ghouls. Panda by himself, though, no. Ziggurat going up. Are we going to see a 60 supply push? It looks like we might be seeing that. He's gearing up for it. Probably bank up to 1,000 gold, maybe 800. Just depending on when the elf decides to put down this Tree of Life. And the elf player, he's creeped up his Demon Hunter to level 3. Also a good level to have. It means 100 mana burns. Ouch. That really shuts down your nuking quite a bit. 2 healing scrolls on the Undead Army, really important. Would be nice. Would be really nice to see a mana potion on the Death Knight if you can spare the money, which you can, but you know. He's got 434 gold or whatever. Just nuking the crap out of that Demon Hunter before the fight starts. Actually, is he going to go down? What is going on? He's going to get a rejuvenation, but at 43 HP. That was crazy, way too close. We are seeing Xixi play so aggressive, and he didn't even stop it. He saved the staff for the bear because he knew he was about to lose a unit. And what confidence? What's his nerves of steel, man? Because I would have been staffing that Demon Hunter so fast. He had a potion of lesser invulnerability. I would have clicked that and staffed him. Wow, I mean, just absolute nerves of steel from the self player. I still think he's playing a little too aggressive, but you have to respect that ability. That is crazy good. I'm gonna see the Shadow Forest Troll Priest, whatever it's called, going nuke down. Sure. Tree of Life finally going up right there for the elf player, which is gonna put him on a clock. And again, we're gonna see the undead once he scouts that. Which he's sending skeletons down there just right now to scout it. We're going to see the slow and the stun on the Naga. Going to get Destroyer eating it, which means a bit of mana for the Destroyer. And again, the Demon Hunter just coming out. He's wanting to get those mana burns. He has to get the mana burns. He has to get rid of all the mana on the undead heroes before he can really engage. It doesn't have to be all the mana, but it needs to be most of the mana. Now he knows this is up for sure, so now it's time, you know, push into the upkeep. He's actually already done that. He's getting an upgrade at upkeep, getting 2 upgrades. So that's kind of cool. One of them, usually you don't want to get upgrades into like the last moment. So it's a good idea because it's gonna and Warcraft, it's a little bit of a different call. Sometimes you do want to get your upgrades before you break upkeep, you know, because obviously if you're waiting on upgrades, then you don't want to be waiting in upkeep if you can avoid it. But in this game, map control matters quite a bit, and because you need to get those creeps, and you need that early map control, it just means you get more creeps and more XP, and that kind of snowballs. But there you go. We're going to see the Demon Hunter taking a lot of nuke damage right off the bat immediately. He's going to get forced to run back. Is he going to pop that Potion of Lesser Invulnerability? He's going to do it, but man, those stirves, he just does it so late. Also, he did get rejuvenated, but it got eaten by the Destroyer pretty much right away, which means he has no more regeneration on this guy because he hasn't morphed one of these bears. He doesn't really have the mana, actually, on any of those, and that's going to be forcing the TP. The Demon Hunter did not get caught in that TP. He had to stay really far away because he was afraid of those nukes. He's going to come over here and pick up probably a Staff of Teleportation. No, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. He's just going to run across the map. Fair enough. That's a better call. It's a much better way to spend 150 gold. And he does need to just wait. His Tree of Life has now finished being put up. He knows that there's an imminent attack coming from the undead player. The undead just going to say, you know, I'm just going to push my advantage as hard as I can, get as much experience off the map and items that I can get off the map. And then, you know, once you've really only begun to recuperate the cost of this expansion, then I'm going to attack. And I'm going to push you with like just a really big advantage. In fact, he's pulling back the Naga, who's level 3, and the Demon Hunter, who's level 3. He's going to pick up level 3 on the Lich, and he has the 3/3/3, which is beautiful. It means level 2 on all of your nuking spells, which you just can't drive that point home enough, or hard enough. Yeah, can't drive that point home enough, hard enough. Because it's important, and we've seen all of these engagements revolve around the Demon Hunter trying to waste all of the mana. He plays really aggressive, not because of the fact that he's taking nukes. He's going to take nukes. He wants to take nukes, because if he takes a round of nukes, that's a round of mana gone from the undead heroes. The reason he's playing so aggressive is because he's doing it like crazy close to the line. You can just kind of stand at the skirts, right, and fake running in without actually running in and waste the nukes. You can do it that way as well, but he doesn't care. He's going really greedy. He's going for the mana burns, which is very aggressive. But here comes that fight finally, just as this guy starts getting, he's got 4 wisps in that gold mine. The undead's here, he's pushing out the base, he's knocking, knock, knock. Who's there? Oh, it's just the undead army, just ready to start blasting at you. And here we go, the fight beginning. Will he get he didn't get to destroy or absorb magic or eat magic from those ghouls, so all those ghouls just goes down straight away to that really a lot of damage from the panda as well as the rest of the elf army. This position is not nearly as good as the last one was for the undead player. He's really going for those bears, but there's a lot more here. Once you kill the bears, though, we've seen that once you can kill the bears, then you can go for the heroes, and then the heroes just kind of are forced right out of the fight. That's if you're in a comfortable lead, and I'm not sure that the undead's in a comfortable lead. If he's not in a comfortable lead, then you usually have to go for the heroes first, because you're not going to have time, as we just saw, to kill all those bears. But it's a very tough call to make right there, and he's decided he wants to go for the bears. It is a safe call, because if you kill all the bears, then you know you are in a really good spot. Even if your army is in shambles, you just need to have a statue around, and you're pretty much going to be able to force those heroes out. But here we're going to see this. You can see he's trying to protect the bears. He doesn't really care about the dryads. The dryads are there mainly to slow things down. That's it. They're hard. They're not hard to kill if they're in range, but they're very fast units, and they slow your opponent down. So they're very easy to micro away and just kind of be annoying and keep them alive for a long time. They're just there to slow you down. That's really all they are there. They're there for. The Ancient of War here, same kind of thing. It's not going to really kill anything, but it is going to slow the undead down. It could be otherwise sitting down there. Again, going now for the Demon Hunter first. Getting that out of the fight is always wonderful if you can do that, because it does do the majority of the damage from the physical side. The Panda doing the majority of the damage just overall, because it's got that crazy magic damage. Hitting level 4 on the Panda and the Demon Hunter. The undead definitely keeping this very close right now. He's going to just coil the Demon Hunter again. I don't actually know what he's trying to do, because he's got his coils and nukes all over the place. He's not focusing on just the bears or the Demon Hunter. I guess he's trying to confuse the staff user. The Panda over there saying, I don't know who you want to staff, a bear or the Demon Hunter, but because your Demon Hunter's low and your bears are low, you're probably not going to staff the bears unless you're feeling really risky, or in this case where you're just kind of winning the fight so much that it's very unlikely that the Demon Hunter's going to go down, but it does go down. It does go down, so going for it. So the split damage from Shun making a lot of sense, and he's just showing why it's so important to be careful. But the Lich also going to go down because there's not enough mana on this point for any kind of death coils, which is bad. It's bad to lose the Lich, but probably not as bad as it is to lose the Demon Hunter. And if he can make it his way over to the tavern, does he have the resources to get that back? I would be very... So he does have the resources. I think he had to cancel a Fiend there. That's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. The Lich is going to be able to regenerate life and mana because he's got the Unholy Aura for life, and he's also got the statue in the back for mana. You can see that he's using mana on that statue. Mana being the most important resource here in these fights. And he wants to kill us before... He's got another Breath of Fire in him. He's going to nuke it down. A round of nukes is going to maybe take this Panda down. And the Panda's going to drop level 4 now on the Demon Hunter. He was actually pulling his Zeppelin up in there, trying to get the pickup, trying to save the Panda. This game just did a pretty big turnaround because the Undead was absolutely in the losing position there. And then he got kills on both of the heroes, which is going to give him a commanding experience advantage, I think, because it's going to be a while before both of those heroes come back out. We're going to see the Demon Hunter being revived from the altar. He's still got half of his entire revive bar to go. The Panda getting revived from the tavern, but not really an effective hero to revive from the tavern unless he has Moonwells or something that he can actually use to regenerate the mana, because he is a mana-based user. He's actually only scary because of mana. This little attack army from the elf player gonna be able to actually push the undead away, but that's only because he's actually kind of low as all get out on everything that he has. He really would like to kill this, but you know, he's done so much damage right here. He's not killed it, but he's made it cost a lot more money because he's killed a round of wisps. He's having to remake those wisps, and he's not mining, he's having to repair. So all that's adding up, it's just adding additional costs and making it so that this thing doesn't pay for itself nearly as quickly as the elf would like it to be. And he knows that. He knows that that is what's going on. He's saying, okay, well, I've done a lot of damage. You know, I've caused the elf to have to put a lot of investment back into this expansion. It gives me a little bit more time. I can back off, go pick up some items, and come back again once I'm healed up a bit. This destroyer absolutely so very low, and in fact, he's pulled in ghouls at this point. He just needs everything that he can. All he has to do at this point is take down the bears, and because this is a prime time to take down the bears. Actually, the Demon Hunter's back out now. I don't know. He's not got a lot of mana. This is going to be a really strong push. I feel like he's going to have to run away from this point. Maybe go for an expansion or something, because there's no way he can win this fight. I mean, there goes all of the mana on the Demon Hunter, or on the Death Knight words, and the Lich has one more Nova in him. Not probably going to see any more Forked Lightnings. If he does, well, maybe one more, but if he does, it's going to be at the expense of, well, actually at this point it doesn't really matter because he's at just about 100 mana, so he's going to get mana burned eventually. That's a lot of bears. That's a lot of bears, and we don't have a sacrificial pit up. We don't have a boneyard. Without a boneyard, without frostworms, dealing with this many bears and a level 4 demon hunter and a level 4 panda, which is almost level 5, it's really difficult. It's really difficult. Destroyers don't cut it. They can cut it if there's only a couple of them and you have a lot of mana, and the demon hunter and the panda are kind of lowish. They're still on like level 3 basically. Then you can take the fight. Then you can do it. It's still a hard fight. At this point, it's a really hard fight. You have to be nuking everything down at a distance. If he's not going to go for the expansion, he wants to keep fighting, then he has to play literally just the nuke everything down game and just survive and micro like crazy. That's where the staff comes in and where the mana burn really shines. But if he can pick off these bears, I mean, again, his opponent now has a gold mine with about 18,000 gold in it at this expansion. It's crazy good. So the elf is in a pretty good spot if all the undead does is kind of sit back and try to pick units off. And he's going to be losing units because he's going to run out of gold mine at his main soon as well. It doesn't have an expansion. So I don't know. I think the elf is in a really good spot if this fighting continues like this. The undead, he needs to back off. He needs to back off. I mean, killing these bears, he's doing a good job. He is doing a good job. I won't say that he's not. He's doing a lot better than I thought he would. In fact, is there staff on the demon hunter? There's not, but those bears are coming back in. He's gonna pass the staff over to the demon hunter and staff the panda out. And with those bears coming back in, and again, there's not really an obvious target. He's gonna have to start going back for the bears. He's just not making enough progress quick enough in these fights. That Naga getting very low, going to pop the potion of lesser invulnerability. Now switching over to the demon hunter just to kind of force him out. The statue going down is a big loss. He can't fight without a statue. The acolytes, the gold mine has run out at this point. He's bringing the acolytes in. He can use those guys for dark ritual, which is nice because he needs the mana. But he doesn't quite have a dark ritual mana. It's 25. He's got to be careful not to lose the Naga Sea Witch as well. Those mana burns are just going to keep on forcing that demon hunter to have no mana. Without death coils, it's really difficult. That lich is going to go down to a breath of fire. And the undead's very low at this point. He's just going to get picked apart, kind of in the same situation that we saw the elf in the last game. So kind of a reversal. But there you go, gang. Good game is called. And that concludes our HFAS series, which was, I think, pretty good. Shun played very innovative, I would say. Like I said, I've never seen an undead play like that. It was a crazy opener, but it made a lot of sense. I don't really know what went wrong for him that game. Again, I mean, if anything, because he was definitely banking on winning the game on that push. It's crazy. See, the thing is that if during that push he had went ahead and gone for the expansion up there, because it was already crept out, he could have put up the gold mine. The elf would not have checked for that. You know, that would have cost him one fiend, pretty much. Because he had plenty of wood. So I don't know. I think that he needed to play more defensively. You know, go for the push. Use that map control that you have to get your expansion up. Because the thing is once the undead's expansion is up, it's a lot easier to keep it up. What really is hard for the undeads is to get it up. So if you can get to the expansion up while you're fighting the elf and you're containing the elf on their side of the map at their expansion, then you can kind of take it into a longer game. You can transition, because we needed to see a transition there. Like I said, he hit so many bears. When you have that many bears, you gotta have, like, you just have to have frostworms if you really want to effectively deal with them. Otherwise, you're just doing some really weird trading. And he didn't have mana potions, so he didn't really have enough mana to really kill those bears either. You know, you gotta have mana potions for the nukes. You gotta have some kind of heavy magic to just take those guys down. But again, he just didn't really have any of that, and so I think it really cost him. But there you go. That was the game. That was game number 3. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That was the whole series now. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to check out twitch.tv/purebee. If you want to watch the things live, they are live cast pretty much every single day at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's what time I can do them. You don't have to, but for now, also, for anyone who's asking any questions, also, like, why has the production gone down? The production's gone down in quality just because of the fact that I'm doing these live, and because I'm doing them, and I can't do them offline right now, because my hard drive for recording offline has actually totally pooped out. It just doesn't work anymore. So that's really unfortunate. But I put so many terabytes of data on that thing. It was a trooper. It lasted, you know, a year and a half. I got it when I started the channel. So that's pretty cool that it lasted as long as it did. It just, you know, it makes sense that I had to go ahead and put one up. So there you go. That's pretty much everything, though, I think. But there are plans at some point to get, you know, to up the production quality. I'm opening a studio in my second room in my apartment. I gotta, it's getting close. It still has some really bad echo. Like this room has a lot of echo. You can hear it. So I'm working on treating that first. Once that's done, then I can go back to getting maybe another hard drive. But at that point, hopefully I'll actually have improved the production quality of the stream enough that we can actually just do live stream to channel and hopefully have no issues and hopefully have everything back to what it was. I don't know if we're going to get to that point. I have no idea. But that's pretty much all of that. That's all that I have to say on that. So thanks for watching, everyone. And I will see you next time, which will be tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.